And then I worry that I'm like mental, because I get those extreme swings.
Here's the thing. You need to set things up both in your inner world, in how you relate to yourself, how you use your tools, how you manage your triggers, and in the external world, in the relationships, in a way that is ultimately supporting you when you're under periods of significant stress.
But I've tried in the external world to set things up, and nobody complies, basically.
Well, but I think part of that is the ways you've gone about it haven't always been as effective as other ways that you could approach it. You know, for example, being consistent, having you and Simon as a unified voice. There are certain pieces there.
That'll never happen.
Well,
and I've accepted that.
We don't know that. We don't know that. How much have you brought that to the couples therapy you're doing?
Well, the problem is the couples therapy that we're doing is all very much about, like what you say, it's about the only reason I get triggered is because of something I believe about myself. And if I can be strong in myself, then that it wouldn't, which I did do.
Yeah, but see how I look at it is there's your stuff, there's Simon's stuff, and there's the relationship stuff. And it's actually three things.
Yeah.
So you can't work on the relationship just by you working on your stuff and him working on his stuff.
I know, well, that's what I think.
You have to work on the stuff you do together. Like that's its own living entity.
So that's not really covered in the. Well, we have had couples therapy before where we've brought that stuff, and it did come up there about, you know, Simon's passive parenting style and my assertive parenting style, but that can quickly go into aggressive.
But the trouble is, the more passive he is, the more assertive you're going to get.
Yeah, I know. Or the more aggressive.
You're counterbalancing, right?
And I don't feel it's fair. I feel like I've got all the responsibility on my shoulders all the time.
I mean, I'm going to be blunt with you, Casey. You decided last year to leave the relationship, and that took a lot of courage and a lot of guts to do that. You've now made the decision to have a go at making the relationship work, which I support. I think it's right to give it that chance. But if you don't resolve or at least improve some of these issues, my money is on this relationship not lasting.
And mine is too.
Right? And it's an act of love to you, to Simon, and to the kids that you make working these issues a priority. Yeah. And if the couples therapist you're working with can't, there are plenty out there that can. Because things like backing each other and having a unified front with the kids is 101 parenting, but it's also 101 relationship stuff, because you know how it feels when you don't. You feel unloved, unseen, violated, angry, pissed off, alone, like a whole bunch of horrible emotions. And even when you have parents that don't agree and they're working it out, there still needs to, as much as possible, be a unified front in front of the children. Yeah. There's a price to being in a relationship, in my opinion. And that price is that each party has to be willing to show up to the relationship and respect, not just be loving, but also be respectful of the other person. And that means, you know, and different relationships balance in different ways. You know, there are relationships where both work and both contribute financially, others where one works, one doesn't, but they hopefully contribute in other ways. But there has to be a balance of both parties contributing what they can to a relationship, unless there's, you know, genuine reason, like someone's got serious chronic illness and that just means they're on. But for relationships to work, you have to feel like you're on a team.
And I don't. I've never felt like I'm on a team, and I still don't.
Right. Relationships are hard fucking work. Like long-term happy relationships. The people that I know that have been together, you know, multiple decades and are basically still in love and happy. And of course they had good years and bad years. I mean, but in those instances, in every single case, they've worked at the relationship. Doesn't mean they haven't necessarily gone to therapy. Some people wouldn't go near a therapist's office, but there's a fundamental respect and effort and willingness that's there. If you don't have that, you don't have the glue that holds a relationship together.
Well, we don't have the glue.
Again, I'm being a little direct today. Maybe it's the end of the week.
Well, I like direct.
But one of the things that I also see is in what you're saying about Simon is, what's he craving?
Oh, he is. He's craving
to be loved and adored.
Yeah, he is.
And we tend to end up in relationship with people that mirror our issues, right?
Yeah.
You've got very different strategies of going about it, but what we've really got here is two people that are craving to be loved and adored.
And we've never been able to give it to each other.
Because you've never been able to give it to yourselves.